You're very much welcome. Okay, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. Good to have you here. This is SOAR, and the webinar is an event of the Institute of Family Life. It's just good to have you here. Thank you for joining us for the new practice, the new rules of family life practice, the new rules of family life practice. And I know that our ears are itching. We want to hear, we want to know more, and that's why we're here. And I want to assure you that you're in the right place. You're in the right place, and you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Just as you're joining us, I want you to tell me one thing that you wish that you had learned, right there where you are, whatever you know currently. What's that one thing you wish that you had learned, regarding family life practice? One thing you wish that you had learned early enough. Okay, just feel free, go ahead, get into the chat box and let us know that thing. You're welcome, Samuel from Makurdi, Benue State. Thank you for joining us. Good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Derek Ben Nwofie. I pronounce it like that's Igbo. Pardon me. You're welcome from Ghana. You're welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Hello to you too. Grace Abakasa Williams. Thank you for joining. You're very much welcome. You're very much welcome. Good to have you here. Yes, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. Nina said you're in the right place. George from Namibia, thank you for joining us. Thank you. You're powerfully welcome. Becca Constance from Cameroon, thank you. Thank you. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. So I need for you to just write in the chat box that one thing that you wish that you had learned, before now. Your current level of knowledge, your current state. What's that one thing, that you know about family life and you wish that you had learned it much earlier than now? Just feel free to put it down. Jagila, what's her name? Beautiful. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. He said he's glad to be here. Yeah, we're happy to have you here. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you. Mbuso. Thank you. Isaac is joining from Lagos. Good to have you here. Ben Craig from Kenya. Oh, wow. How is the weather over there? Welcome. Welcome. Good evening, Nimi from Port Harcourt. Welcome. Good to have you here. Abiola. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, so go ahead and, let us know that one thing that you've learned, that you learned very recently, and you wish that you've learned it earlier in your practice. Okay. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for joining. Derek, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, Isaac. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're very much welcome. Discovery Revival. Fortune from Emboy State. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. It's going to be more than a revival tonight. Oh, it's going to be more than a revival. Just anticipate. Just anticipate. Raphael, you're welcome from Lagos. You're welcome. Good to have you here. Olaniru Rita, good to have you here. You're welcome. Thank you. Thengiwe Capito Malawi. All right. I hope that I didn't use my mother tongue to pronounce that. I'm Yoruba. Good to have you here. Good to have you. Olukayode, Pastor Olukayode, pardon me. David from Benin City, Edo State. You're welcome, sir. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. So I'm waiting to read from you. Was that one thing that you've currently learned and you wish that you have, you've learned it, you know, way before now? Someone says emotional intelligence and time management. Beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful. Nandi from South Africa, you're welcome. Olukayode David, I guess that should be the pastor. How to be a solution. That's profound. That's profound. That's profound. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Vivian from Lagos, you're welcome. Good evening. Tambani Chinembiri from Zimbabwe. Again, pardon me. I hope I haven't pronounced that like your Igbo. You're welcome. Very much welcome. Oluwademilade Adigun from Lagos. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Bridget Noveve from South Africa. Thank you for joining us. Good to have you here. You're welcome. Shaliska from Malawi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're very welcome. Eric from Ghana. Thank you. Good evening. Someone is joining from Kwara State. Oladosu Olawale. Thank you. V from Zimbabwe. Thank you. Defoko from South Africa. I hope that pronunciation is also correct. Thank you. I can see Amen Osage. I can see her right on my screen. I can also see Nimi. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I mean, there's no saying it that you are here for an amazing time. You're here for an amazing time. You're here for an amazing time. And I know that some of us have encountered our speaker, I mean, you can't hear him enough. You can't hear him enough. Every time you hear him, it's fresh again. It's fresh again. It's fresh again. Geraldine from Cameroon, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Dr. Mrs. Mustafa from Otta. Good to have you here, ma'am. I'm Julia Muthala from South Africa. Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Nomfuso from South Africa. I think we have a lot of South Africans on this call tonight. Thank you for joining. And such a beautiful time to be here. Without further ado, I would like to introduce, two other people that will be speaking about their experience and the transformation that they've experienced, on this course, the impact that has had on their practices and their personal lives. Okay, so I'm going to bring on Raphael Ogbe. Pardon that pronunciation, sorry. All right.
Thank you very much. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, from wherever part of the world that you're listening from. My name is Raphael Ogbe, and I count it as a big honor to have the privilege to testify, to render a testimonial concerning my experience in the Family Systems Engineering Institute, particularly the course which I'm just undertaking. And like I said, my name is Raphael Ogbe. I'm a pastor, a senior pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And I'm based in Nigeria here. I live in Redemption City of God. But I'm also a mechanical engineer by profession. I've had almost 3 decades of practicing engineering in my career. I maintain machines, engines, and I also maintain and relate with the personnel that handle the maintenance and repair of those machines. I supervise them, I manage them. But along the line in my career, because as we say, there are 3 M's and E in management: man, machine, material, and entrepreneur. So the man that mans the machine are very, very crucial. The machine cannot handle itself. So along the line in my career, having been managing the machines and the men, I discovered that the man manning the machines now begin to attract my attention. Why? Because the man has problems, it has traumas, pains, and personal issues that medications and mechanical, computer, electrical, electronic diagnostics cannot diagnose or remedy. Whereas machines, you can plug in diagnostic tools and then very quickly understand what the problems of the machines are and resolve them and remedy them. But as for man, there are no electronic devices, no mechanical tools that can diagnose emotional, psychological problems. So that began to deepen my concern for the man because the men have problems, they have issues, and that keeps catching my attention. So I wanted to help, but I was helpless. So I started searching for means by which I could help humanity, help the men. And so because I'm ill-equipped, I was ill-equipped at that time. So the search I did online in various ways one day took me to land on the webpage of Family Systems Engineering Institute. And I looked at the curriculum of this particular institute. I mean, I said, this is what I wanted. I became so happy. The contents, the curriculum seemed to fill in the vacuum that existed in my knowledge because I saw what the contents and what the curriculums are and what the courses promise to deliver. And I said, no, I can't wait. I have to register immediately. So I registered and I completed the course. And sincerely speaking, going through the course has truly enriched my experience. It has reshaped how I understand humanity, family relationships, and emotional responsibility. I gained practical tools that deepened my insights and renewed my passion to help build healthy homes and strong relational systems. And this wasn't just learning, it was transformation. Before this course, I believed I understood humanity because I studied a bit of psychology, though I studied engineering, but I took interest in psychology. So I believed I understood how to relate with people, how to manage people's emotions. But I discovered that I knew next to nothing until I started this course. So, talking about family life, relationships, and human dynamics, so I was able to understand this very well. But the family systems engineering did something far deeper. It reframed how I see family, marriage, communications, interpersonal communications, emotions, and responsibility. This course didn't just give me information, it gave me a personal transformation. I became a better husband, a better father, and even a better pastor, able to troubleshoot, able to understand people's challenges, especially marital issues. I don't need to spend hours counseling. Within a short time, I will understand what the user. In fact, by throwing assessment tools, psychometric tools at them, and asking them to engage in the assessment, I'll quickly know what the problems are. So particularly the tools called Oyela, that one is like it was like magic. So then one of the most beautiful aspects of this experience was how practical and relatable the learning was. The lessons challenged my assumptions, corrected my blind spots, and equipped me with tools I can immediately apply, not just for myself, but for others that I will be serving. So I now see family life as a system that can be designed, repaired, strengthened, and sustained, not merely endured. So I've gained deeper empathy, clearer communication skills, and renewed sense of responsibility towards relationships, marital, parental, and societal. So this course has actually sharpened my purpose and it has expanded my capacity to help others build business. So I'm grateful for this journey and I'm grateful for the insights, the growth, and the vision it has unlocked in me. Family system engineering has not just educated me, it has equipped me to make a difference. And particularly, I am grateful to be able to hear directly from the visionaire, that is Praise Fowowe. I used to see online, read the writings, but I was able to directly hear from him. He taught me directly, and I really appreciate. He's a prophet in the family space.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Family Systems Development Institute.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So if you're here and your friends have family, they are not here yet, you're wrong. So please invite your friends, invite your church members, invite everyone who needs to be here, your colleagues, people who they're passionate about helping families, and that they don't have what it takes. Even if you think they have what it takes, invite them. Okay, so we're bringing on our next practitioner. That's Madam Amen Osagie. Pardon the pronunciation. Is it Amen now? You're welcome, ma.
Yes, you are correct, ma. Good evening, ma. Good evening, Mrs. Ayobami. Thank you very much. Well, to take off from where the first speaker spoke, I would just say I wouldn't talk much about the tools and everything the Institute offered, because I think basically has done that just to save time. So first, I'll just do a brief introduction on how how I became aware of the Family Systems Engineering course. A friend invited me to the event held on the 15th of May in 2025 here in Benin. So I went there just to go and attend, like every other person who registered to attend. But at the end of the day, I found myself registered for a course I never planned for, because of how clear the program was, how practical what they offered, what they talked about was. So I told myself, I have been struggling to know how to help people better. And so the course, for what was spoken that day, the course seemed to give me clarity on how to go about it. Okay, so now I will just pause to say that I'm a legal practitioner, and I happen to have been handling divorce cases. So it has always been a struggle for me at a point to say, okay, how do I help couples, or help a couple that comes to me and all they are thinking about it's about getting a divorce, basically because they do not understand all the issues. Because I know that, okay, since I'm not there, I can't really tell what the issue is. So most times I just end up advising just normal advice, and with no precise way to go about it. And then most times as a Christian, I just, okay, just pray, but trust God and all that. But when they were done with the program that 15th of May 2025, I told myself, this is a course I should register for. And I did. Without planning, I did went ahead to register for it, and I have no regrets at all. Okay, so I registered for the program thinking, okay, this will further help my practice as regards divorce cases that I handle at times. That I handle. I have stopped too from going ahead, but sincerely with no um, hands-on tools on how to go about having a better relationship with their spouse. I'm honest about that. So I thought I was registering to know how to do that better, but guess what? I got to know that I have issues myself based on the training that we're undergoing, especially when we were asked to draw the tree of life. I was like, oh my God, I even have pain, deep histories of my own that I was yet to deal with. And I was going out there to help people deal with theirs. So first of all, I calmed down, said, okay, especially when our teachers were always telling us, this course is not just for you, it's not just for your practice, it's for you as well. So I had to settle down. I said, okay, young lady, learn for yourself as well. And it was then I got to know that, okay, certain things about myself that have not been aligning, certain things I have struggled with, certain things I have ignored, a lot of it began to make meaning to me. So I would say, really, I gained clarity. That's in this course. I gained clarity. I gained heightened self-awareness while studying this course. And then the part that really got me very, very excited is the fact that I got to understand that the mind can be re-engineered. That was bliss for me. So, okay, it means that naturally from your experiences, your histories, and everything you've gone through, your mind on its own happens to be patterned in a way. And since that has happened unconsciously, one can consciously repattern the mind in such a way that you begin to enjoy from knowing yourself, understanding yourself better, understanding people too better. You can re-engineer your mind to get the desired life that you have in mind. And so for me, it has been it has been a beautiful time coming to hear about the family systems engineering course. It was an amazing experience for me. I remember when I started in the Jew cohort, I happened to have health challenges, and I was scared. At that time, I thought I wouldn't be able to go through. But when I sent a mail, I got a response back to say, oh, sorry, please, you can pause and go in for the next course. With that, I respected the institute a lot, because I really feared that that will be the end of it. But I was encouraged. And then when I came back in September, I was told, welcome back. You can go on, you can continue where you stop. So I appreciated it, and I know that with time, people will get to engage more on this and gain more clarity. And with that, we can make the society a better place for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I mean, you've heard from people who have benefited from this course, and I don't know what you're waiting for. You can see the link, already in the comment section, where you can just get on board without plenty story and talk. I mean, no one can really explain it to you. You have to experience it for yourself. You have to experience it. There's no, way of explaining to you and then you will get it. No, it has to be an experience that is a once in a lifetime experience, if I can put it that way, right? And so okay, I'm loving the discussion. Oh, you need to stay on the call because we've not even started. We've not even started. And so right about now, we are bringing on the visionary of the family life practice, the Grand Master himself. We all must have heard about him. We must have heard of him. Some of us have been fortunate enough to encounter him, and he's none other than the respected, the highly knowledgeable Praise Fowowe. He's our father. I mean, he's like grandfather to some of us because good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ayobami. How are you? Good to see you.
Very well, thank you, sir.
Okay. Sorry, let me just shut up my lights. Okay, good. Ayobami, good to see you, everyone. How are you, Africa? How are you, Botswana, Malawi, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Lesotho, Mozambique, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Kwaba, Congo, DRC. I love you all. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm super excited to be joining you today. Whoa, the first thing I want you to do is to wrap your arms around your body. Okay, you have to do this right now. Oh, Uganda, I greet you. I greet you. Rwanda, I greet all of you. Wrap your arms around your body and just close your eyes. Right? That's the first thing I wanted to do. I wanted to just wrap your hands around your body and close your eyes. And say to yourself, well done. Oftentimes, we have been socialized to praise other people. You have been socialized to praise God. You've never been socialized to praise yourself. Every time you are tempted to praise yourself, you were told that you're proud, you're arrogant. And then you wonder why what people say gets to you. So I want you to wrap your hands around yourself tonight and just say to yourself, well done. Appreciate every part of your body that is working. Appreciate your legs for carrying you since you were born. Appreciate your hands. Appreciate your eyes for seeing. Appreciate your nose for still being active, your mouth that you can still talk. Just appreciate every part. Appreciate your pancreas, your large intestine, small intestine. Appreciate your blood vessel. Appreciate every freaking part of you. That you can't forget the fact that you are alive because every part of your body is working. So go ahead, appreciate yourself, your mind. Appreciate the fact that you are here today. I want you to do that. Things you're grateful for about you. You deserve it. You are the VIP. We celebrate you for showing up. We say thank you to you. And we say thank you to you for what you do for Africa. They may not clap for you. They may not applaud you. It may be in your little corner in Maputo. It might be your little corner in Yamoussoukro, in Ivory Coast. Or it might even be in Kumasi. But we see you. We say thank you. So appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself. Just say thank you to yourself and slowly open your eyes. Okay, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. It's so good to have all of you, Zimbabwe, Zambia, all my brothers and sisters. Once you're an African, you're my brother. So having done the ritual of appreciating yourself is something you should do normally. Let me tell you what that does to you. When you learn to appreciate yourself, it will no longer matter what people say about you. Let me tell you. Some people believe that I'm very proud, arrogant, and cocky. It never gets to me because you can't know me more than me, right? And so I have learned to just love me, because if I don't love myself, nobody can love me. I remember working with a woman who was going through borderline depression. And why was she depressed? She said to me that her husband is always calling her useless. And I said, oh, useless? Why does that bother you? And she said, oh, praise, it was insulting me. And, I said to her, I said, madam, can you write the word useless? So she wrote useless. I said, there are two words there. What are they? She said, use and less. I said, can you flip it? She said, okay, it becomes less used. What is the meaning of less used? She said, when somebody does not have the capacity to maximize you. So I said to her, could it be that your husband is actually announcing that he doesn't have the capacity to maximize you while you think he's insulting you, right? What do you think about yourself? And she said, praise, I'm very useful. I'm resourceful. I am powerful. I said, madam, that's who you are. And then she jumped up and she said to me, how come I never thought about it? How come I never saw this? And I said to her, madam, you are not depressed. It's your interpretation that is faulty, because nothing means anything except the meaning we attach to it. The best thing you can do for yourself is to master your inner world, master your interpretation, where you define what you're called, you define who you are, such that the L without, or whatever people say, does not have an effect on you. Okay, so on that note, we're going to start today's session. I am super excited. I have a few minutes to share with you what I think will liberate you. And I want you to fasten your seatbelt. We are 244 in this class at the moment. If you know anyone in Africa who work with families, or who you believe has all it takes to work with families, I want you to invite like 10 of them and tell them you want to give them $1,000, right? You want to give them information worth $1,000. They need to be in this room because it's going to get eaten in here today, right? I promise you that. So you want to invite them right away, right? Invite them. I might just have a gift for you. 10 people, just pick your phone, send a broadcast and say, hey, I'm in a class, I'm in a session right now. It's worth $1,000. I need you to join right away. Okay, we are now 251. Some people are already doing the Lord's work. Okay, so my name is Fowowe. It's been 25 years of practicing as a family life professional, 25 years. 25 years of leading this charge across the continent of Africa, leading when it didn't make sense, leading when there was nobody in that space, pushing for Africa to be at the forefront of the globe, telling the whole world that Africa's got something to offer the world, right? It's something I have done 25 years of my life, pushing, creating new solutions that is Afrocentric. I always tell people everywhere I go, I will never accept that there is any group of people smarter than Africans. We may not have the sophistication that they have. We may not have the tech, the IT infrastructure they have. Some of our countries may still be battling with uninterrupted power supply, but I will never accept that if you put us in the same room, give us the same condition, we will not beat them hands down. And so I see a whole lot happening around here. I mean, I work in America and Canada at the moment, and I see a whole lot, and I'm saying, hey, you guys have not been to Africa. You don't know the way we do family life, right? Our families work, right? And so you cannot gaslight us and tell us it's not working. We know all this history. And so I am super excited that I'm in the room, African brothers. And that's why I want you to fasten your seatbelt, because I'm going to be sharing something that is going to totally transform your life, that we've titled The New Rules of Family Life. Now, this is so critical at this point, because at the end of this session, you would have discovered the opportunities that exist in the family life space. See, the family life space is maybe over $50 billion industry globally. I work in almost every continent of the world at the moment. And maybe I'm one of the highest paid globally in this sector. That I'm very sure of. because what I charge is not what a lot of people charge, right? It doesn't even make sense sometimes, but it's not about what we charge. It's about the impact we are capable of making and what we can do to turn around our continent. Now, we're going to learn 7 reasons why family life professionals struggle, 6 sabotaging beliefs you need to uninstall, 5 of the 10 new rules of family life practice that you can transform, and then the best template to accelerate your success rate across the globe. There is no continent or nation of the world right now that I will step into and I won't be able to work within 1 week. None. With the model and the framework that I use, there is no place I would work. I mean, I've worked with Chinese, worked with Japanese, worked with Jews, worked with all kinds of people. The impact and the effects have been the same. So within the next 2 days, anything that is going to distract you, put it up, right? So you want to switch off any device, TV that is going to disturb you from this session. And please, you want to change the name on your Zoom to your full name. If you have any title, maybe you are a chief or you are a doctor, you want whatever you need us to call you, put it there. And then I want you to choose a super critic within yourself today. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read this together. I do it all the time. Thank you very much, guys. We have 273. Now we shoot for 300 and 500 in this room. Now we're going to read this together. Wherever you are, I want you to read it with me, and then we will shoot. If you can't unmute yourself, it's fine. All right? Okay, 1 to go. I am worthy of whatever I desire to earn from the incredible value I have to humanity. I deserve much more than I charge because I save lives every day, much more than the world can imagine. My clients achieve clarity and achieve their desired results, while I also achieve my financial goals. I'm a family life coach, and I keep the world happy. Fantastic. That's what we do. We keep the world happy. And trust me, there is nobody that can pay us for what we do, the incredible value we have to humanity. And that's why I am super excited to be in your midst today. Now, my name is Praise Fowowe. So I'll tell you a short story. Many years ago, precisely 25 years ago, I'd left university, I'd worked in paid employment, and then I wanted to, when I was in university, I wanted to study family science, right? But I got in for accounting, so I did accounting degree 1. And by second degree, I wanted to go to America to study family science, but then my father passed and I couldn't go. And so I kept thinking, what was I going to do? What was I supposed to do? So I got admitted to study public admin at the University of Lagos. But I did not resume because I think I went once and I saw the stress I had to go through. And if you have been schooled in Nigeria, first degree was hell, right? It was too stressful for me because of the kind of university I was in. And I wasn't going to go and do something else I wasn't going to use. So I started thinking of what to do. In my confusion, I was taking a walk around the place called Good Evening Street. Around the place called Bale Street in Ajegunle. Ajegunle is a densely populated area of Lagos. As I took my walk, I saw little girls prostituting. These girls were between ages 13 to 18. They were in the particular brothel and they were prostituting. And I kept thinking, I was very upset, livid. I was just complaining. Government is useless. All these African leaders, they are just useless. Why would they allow these young girls? And as I got to my room, I knelt down to pray, which I normally do every night. And then I had the voice say to me, but you can make a difference. And immediately I said, no, I cannot make any difference. I don't have money. Me, that I'm still struggling. And the voice said, no, it's not about money. You can actually go back there and talk these girls out of what they were doing. And the voice reminded me, remember when you were a bad boy in school, right? That you would toss a girl, ask a girl out, and then you guys are in the room having sex and all doing all those bad things. He said you have the capacity. So the following night, I was disguised in there as a customer, right? But this time around, I started talking to these girls. I was using their names. I'll ask them, what's your name? Say, I'm Gloria. What's your name? I'm Favor. What are you doing here? You are Favor, you are Gloria. You shouldn't be here. And that was how it started. Before I knew it, I had emptied an entire brothel, destroyed the business those guys were doing, and they started looking for me. They placed the money on a particular amount on my head. They were going to kill me. But then I escaped to another brothel. This time around, it was a bigger one, an entire street. prostitution was what was going on there. And so I started my madness in there again, started getting girls out. But then this time around, I started to learn. I used to think prostitution was as a result of poverty alone. But I met girls whose parents were well-to-do, living in the brothels, right? And then I started wondering what's going on, because an average girl will need to sleep with 11 men every day to break even. And so I started thinking, why would a girl spread her life for 11 men to break even? Then it dawned on me that this must be more than poverty. That was the first time I learned about what is called learned helplessness. That learned helplessness is what is happening. It happens when your humanity has been taken away from you and you are no longer technically a human being. You become a human thing or a human doing. And so I stayed in there for a while, but it opened me up to over 200 girls, and all the 200 girls or more that I worked with, all of them were victims of, number one, child sexual abuse. So I was able to link the abuse of a child to how a child loses their identity, because every misbehavior can be traced to a non-discovery of self or a non-remembrance of self. It dawned on me for the first time that, oh, these people, their identity has been stolen in their childhood, which has set them up for this kind of life they were living. Number two thing I found out was that not any one of them had a good parenting background. And number three was the fact that the marriages that produced them were dysfunctional. So I first attacked child sexual abuse problem. I said, let me solve this problem. Then I attacked parenting problem. But then I one day talked to my mom. I said, Mom, since I can't go to America, I think I want to solve the family life problems in Africa. And she said, what would you do? Churches are already doing it. I said, no, I don't want to do it the pastoral way. I want to do it professionally. I want to find out what is going on. And so she said, what are you going to do? I said, I want to do a study of 25 couples who had successfully been in marriage for 40 years. And so my mom said, oh, she had some who were her friends, you know. Then my father had passed. Then my mom introduced me to quite a number of them. These people have done marriages between 40 years to 65 years. And so I went to meet all of them to ask them, why did their marriages work? And all of them told me, guys, we've crossed 300, so I'll be clapping for you every milestone we cross. Well done, guys. And all of them told me, oh, it was prayers. It's prayers that made it work. Just be prayerful. And I knew that couldn't have just been prayers, because I know prayer warriors. I know pastors whose marriages collapsed. Now, that somebody's marriages did not work did not mean that they are bad people, because that's one of the things we need to correct in Africa. That you have been through a divorce does not mean you cannot be an effective family life coach. So anybody who is saying that you cannot help people because your marriages did not work is speaking of the devil. That's not God, and that's not professionalism. A doctor's child can be sick. It doesn't make him less of a doctor. You cannot equate a profession to a lifestyle. It's not the same, right? In fact, that your marriage failed actually qualifies you to do much more than people, because you have experiential knowledge. But you don't even need experiential knowledge to solve people's problem. You just need to have a framework that can solve people's problem. So I was studying them. So I begged for permission to study them over a period of time. And I was studying these guys for over 11 years, where I would ask questions, I would observe them, I would take notes, I would build a framework. And that was how we built the family system engineering certification. Now, when I built it, I couldn't take it to the market because I wasn't sure people would accept it, because that was the era where this was now 2005, 2006. It was the era where what was trending in Africa is American certification, UK certification. If it's not from UK or America, people wouldn't buy it. So I kept it because I knew that this is African certification, right? So I wasn't confident enough to put it in the market. But then I started writing for This Day newspaper. And I wrote for this newspaper for like 8 years. And every week I wrote, people felt something was totally different from what I was writing. And so I just kept writing, and people would call me, can you help us? And so that was how I started charging. Then it was 20,000 to see me. I would see you for like 45 minutes. In fact, I remember a couple, they were seeing me every week, but all through the session for the 5 minutes, they will argue all through, fight themselves all through. And I'll tell them, your time is up. Do you want to schedule another session for next week? And then they will book again. They were paying for like 8 sessions before reason eventually prevailed. What was their issue, right? The issue was very simple. They were going to go for a vacation. Husband wanted to go to Bahamas. Wife wanted Hawaii. They couldn't agree. Was the fight about? for 8 weeks. Me, I was collecting money. So I always told people way back that I was one of the few people who got paid to listen to people's problems without even solving them. That when I have to solve it, I get paid more, right? Very interesting. But then I had built this framework and people started asking me to teach them. But I wasn't still sure. So I eventually got an American visa. And my aim was to look for an American school and then affiliate with them. Unfortunately, that same period, I started getting mentored by one of the biggest sons of Africa who was born in the Bahamas, who grew up in the Bahamas, but his heart is always in Africa, Dr. Miles Monroe. And then I saw Dr. Miles and we sat down and we got talking and I showed the model to him. And Dr. Miles said to me, Praise, don't affiliate this. This is the most comprehensive thing I've ever seen when it comes to family life. Take it back to Africa, put it in the market. It will grow organically. It may be slow initially, but after a while, it will blow up. So I got back to Africa and then I was in my office and then a few people came to meet me to say, oh, Mr. Praise, we noticed that whatever you are teaching is very fantastic, because what made my model different way back was that everybody listened to couples before they diagnosed what was going on. I never listened to couples. What I did was I would administer a questionnaire. They filled the questionnaire. By the time they were coming to see me, I knew everything that was wrong. 96% accurate. I'll be telling them what happened in their childhood, what happened in their teenage years, what happened. And then they used to think I was a prophet. They'll be like, I've not even told my wife. How did you know this? I've not told my husband. Were you able to get it? I said, see, it's in the data. I can mine this data. I can analyze it. That was how effective I was. So I told them, I said, well, I can teach you, but then I will need to spend about 7 days of you guys being locked up in a room, and I'll teach you for 7 days. And that was the first time we did this framework, Family STEM Engineering Certification Program. I taught them across 7 days. In fact, by day 3, maybe about 2 of them dropped out. You know why? Because they were having severe headache. They were like, are we living? Where did you get this information from? What is this? What we had to keep, paracetamol in Tylenol. It was paracetamol then in the training room because people needed to take medication, right? Now, those people left the class, and some of them, if I mention their names today, they are some of the best brains in the family life space across Africa. Now, eventually, we took the model to America. And when I brought it to America, I wanted to test it against the best brains because there's a Family Life Coaching Association of America. I was the first African to join that association. So I came in for their conference. In fact, it was a very stressful trip because I had 4 days left on my American visa. So I came and all of us had to do presentation. By the time I finished doing presentation, everybody looked at it and they said, there is no model that combines strategy, therapy, coaching, counseling, and systems intelligence. And why did I build that kind of a model? It was very simple. In America, if you are a therapist, you can't do the work of a coach. If you're a coach, you can't do the work of a therapist, right? But in Africa, the client does not know the difference. A client wants to be whole, wants to be well. Why would I come and share my story with you? Already, it's tough for me to share my story and be vulnerable with you. And then you will say, oh, okay, after collecting my money, you now say, oh, I don't deal with this. I need to send you here. Then you send me to that person again. That person sends me around like 4 people working on me. Africans are not going to take that. And so we built a framework that is all in all that can make you practically solve people's problems. So eventually that was how I started. And before I knew it, I started getting calls from all over the world. People wanted me to work with them, and I had at the point, when people talk about ad spend, I don't spend so much on ads personally because people recommend my services. They say, oh, go and meet Praise, go and meet Praise. And it was based on my work in Africa that the American government says, okay, you know what? We have a special talent visa called O1 visa. If you come here and you can replicate your results in Africa within 3 years, we will give you a permanent residence in America. And so I was ready to come to America, and then COVID hit. So out of the 3 years I was given, 2 years was spent in COVID in Africa. Eventually, by the time I got to America, I had 1 year left to prove myself. Now, I was supposed to do 3 years work in 1 year, but I went ahead, devised a framework, and then I knew that my best bet would be to work with churches and use them to prove that this thing works. So I worked with 130 faith-based organization. The result was massive. And within 1 year, I had gotten my green card, which is one of the fastest, right? People couldn't believe it. But it's because for the first time, I knew that we hit something that was going to transform the world. And so if you are struggling right now, I want you to know that I used to struggle. I used to also be on the street of Ajegunle. I used to also be very hopeless. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do next. I was confused about life, right? And so over time, I travel, I meet some of my mentees across the globe. I sit with them, consult for government on policy, design solutions, across board. I have courses in some universities that I've designed as an intervention. I have courses in Babcock University and quite a number of universities. I have subjects in secondary schools, right? I consult for many state governments, many governments of nations. I sit and strategy with them. I consult for some of the best families, and now I'm building family offices for the 1% of the 1%. And if you understand family office is the super rich and now curating data for 7 generations after them, which means 210 years after now, they will still be in power, right? So the family framework to make that work is something I'm designing for some of them, right? And so these are some of the innovations I've created over the years. Basic sexual education kit, which is what to teach a child about sex from 18 months to 18 years, out of the box parenting matrix, family system engineering certification, human engineering programming, which is a model you can use to rebuild anybody who's esteemed or who is dealing with severe depression. The new African Village Coaching Methodology, or YELA, which is our psychometry, ready for life development, virtual mentoring, which is going on in various nations right now, where we teach African kids and we parent them on behalf of their parent, basically, right? So you can see, I eventually grew into the executive council of the Family Life Coaching Association in America. I was conference chair for one major year, and that's the most successful conference they've had. The first time they were going to take it out of North Carolina, right? So many things I have done. But today it's not about me. I have come to announce to you as an African, we're now 329, we should hit 400 shortly, that the day Africa decides to rise is the day the world will be healed. But I need to tell you that you are that African that must rise. This session is for you. And I do not want you to look down on yourself because you understand why we're doing this session. First of all, is for you to become professional at what you do. But beyond that is the fact that we have an assignment. I am proud of the Africans that the Institute has produced across various African nations. We now have students, maybe except for North America. It's the only region we are yet to cover fully. But every other part of Africa, we have expression. Now we have students even in North America. We have students in Europe and everywhere. But we believe that Africa has slept for too long. The day we decide to rise is the day the world will be healed, because we are the only people who are naturally empathetic. We are the ones who treat visitors better than we treat ourselves. We are the ones who see people's car break down on the road and they call us and we willingly help them push the car. We are the ones, despite the fact that they are trying to say that we are mean to ourselves, we are the only one who can abuse ourselves about jollof rice, about things, and abuse ourselves before the world abuses us, right? We are the only ones who will play football and then we'll be stealing towels, right? We are the only, we just do crazy things. That's what makes us Africa. We are very unique in our right? We can fight ourselves, but then it doesn't stop us from impregnating ourselves, right? We're just a bunch of interesting people that no study has conclusively revealed who an African is. But we love ourselves that way, right? In our chaos is our clarity, right? Despite the fact that there are some of our nations that don't have power, but go to any part of the world, the best doctors are Africans, the best lawyers are Africans, the best engineers are Africans. Let our children manage to leave Africa to come and study here. You see how they get on honors list, because there is greatness in us. What we've lacked over time is leadership. And so, in the African continent today, there are 1.14 mental health workers per 100,000 people. I'm going to share that data later. What that means is that our infrastructural human resource deficit is palpable. that for every 100,000 Africans that you see, there is only 1.4, let's even say 2 mental health workers to 100,000 people. What that means is that we're in trouble. It means that our people can be depressed and we wouldn't know. There are so many pastors on the pulpit who are borderline depression. They are still preaching. People are not aware. But if you're a professional, you can see. Now, what separates us from the rest of the world isn't just competence issue. It's often esteem issues and lack of belief in our solution. How can we say that African solutions don't work? And so that was how we were colonized. We were made to doubt what we had, and then they took it away from us. I mean, how do you explain that our forefathers were given mirror and they sold their brothers? Mirror. They were giving semen synap to drink, and then they sold their brothers, right? And that's why they said that it's not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have, but you don't know how to use. That what has happened is that it's not as if we don't have African solution. We have African solution for every ailment, for example. When I was younger, if I had the boil in any part of my body, you know what my mother will ask you to do? She will ask you to put your hand in your hair and bring out a little bit of wax and put it on it. Every time I did that, I don't know the science around it, the boil dried up. Okay? How many of you tried that as well? Can you type hi? Right? Good. See, we don't know the science around that, but it worked. But guess what? Tomorrow somebody is going to make that into a science, and before you know it, they will import it back to us in Africa and will pay heavily. They will call it vaccine and will pay heavily to access it. Okay? See everybody saying it always works. See all these people, right? And so we need to understand that Africa has got a lot of solutions. The problem is that instead of Africans collaborating, we keep fighting ourselves. He has to say, I'm South Africa. No. We are all African people. We are all plagued by the same bad leadership across all our nations. We are all challenged by the same things, and we cannot allow anybody to turn us against ourselves. Everywhere I see my African brothers in any part of the world, I identify with them, I align with them, and I play with them. So there are multiple opportunities in the value chain of the family life industry across Africa. From personal coaching to group coaching to organizing employee family assisted program to report preparation to deals with government, consulting, intellectual property, partnership, matchmaking, preparation and response. I mean, there are so many opportunities that the family system of industry is crying out for. Multiple opportunities in the value chain. So the question is, why are people struggling? Why would some people say they're family life coaches and they can't feed themselves? I have not done any other work since I got to America outside of family life, my family life practice, right? And then when I got to America, they told me, oh, you know, the highest paid here, they charge, you know, $60, $70 per hour. If you can charge that, you're going to be fine. As an African, I first thought about it. How many $60 will I put together to make $1,000? When will I get to $10,000? When will I make $100,000? When will I make $1 million? I said, no, I can't charge that way. I will need to charge per bouquet. They say, oh, it's not going to work. I said, my minimum bouquet will be $3,000. And then I'll work with you for 6 weeks. They say, oh, nobody will pay it. Hello? People started paying it. Right now, I have bouquets as high as $25,000. And people pay, right? And so I know, this is not somebody's story or some wide story. This is me telling you my story. Right? So I don't understand why people are struggling, because there are multiple opportunities across various values chain. And that's why I never look down myself when I step into the room. We step into a conference one year, like I think 2 or 3 years ago, and then we're going to pass a resolution that everybody needs to take a particular certification. And I stood up and I said, how did you create this certification? And they told me, and I said, was there an African in the room when you created it? They said no. I said, have you ever seen any movie from Nollywood or from Gollywood? They said no. I said, then this cannot pass because you don't understand us. And people say, oh, you were too loud in the room. I said, because I'm an African, I carry the burden of an entire continent. I'm not going to allow you to put me down. Eventually, they say, oh, come and test it. And they said there are 3 levels of it. So I look at the 3 levels. I said, okay, based on the 3 levels, the 3rd level is the highest level, which means you must have done like maybe 3,000 man hours in your field. I have done way more than that. I even lost count, maybe like over 20,000 man hours as a then. And then they said, oh, but you can't take level 3. You will need to start from level 1. I said, why? I said, because you don't have a degree in family science. I said, but we don't have any university that offer family science in Africa. And then they say, but you still need to go through level 1 to level 3. And I got upset. I wrote them a stinker. And I said to them, you know what? I will never need this. I was only helping you test it out so that I can give you feedback. And the moment I sent back a stinker, they started begging to say, oh, praise. We didn't mean it that way. We didn't mean it that way. I said, no, I'm not taking. Eventually, they sent me a message. They said, okay, praise. Okay, if you can't take it, can you be one of the mentors? I said, now you guys are talking. Because if you don't declare who you are, people will turn you to a slave. Right? And so that's something I have learned over time. And I'm never going to allow anybody rubbish our style in Africa. It may not be sophisticated, but sophistication is also relative. If you go to the people who live inside the bushes, what is sophistication to them? They don't know about internet. They don't miss it. And they are fine. They are cool. They reproduce. They have their own local hospitals by themselves. And so we cannot compare ourselves with other people. We need to create what is unique. And so the first question I'm going to ask you is, I want to look at this picture. What do you see? And how does this make you feel? Okay, can you type your answers in the chat box? What do you see? What do you see? You can see invite friends and tell them you are gaining something here. What do you see? What comes to your mind when you look at this picture? Can I see your answers on the chat box? Just type. What do you see? What do you see? What do you see? Okay, indecent dressing, a soul, indecency, sex worker. Okay, keep it on. A female immodestly dressed. I see a lady. I see an irresponsible person. Sex worker. Okay, a lady wearing shorts. Abiola. Okay, sex worker. Oloja, indecency, sexy dressing. I see a loss of morality. Sex worker, indecent dressing. Teen sex worker, publicity, a young lady dressing in shorts, indecent dressing model, a lady wearing bomb shorts. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, let's look at this. What do you see? What do you see? This is the second picture. What do you see? A female badly dressed, a lady wearing shorts. People are still talking about the first one. Okay, the second one, what do you see? Partially dressed lady, girls in a club. Okay, club, a lady naked like sex worker. She needs reorientation. Ladies in the club, party after party. Okay, my Ghanaian brothers. Okay, females in mini dresses, party girls, clubbing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, look at these people. What do you see? What do you see? Image 3, what do you see? What do you see here? Okay, what do you see? I see ladies who need help. Girls at the club. You see gay. Akemi said I see gay. Good. Ladies having an outing, clubbers, lesbians, community, friends or colleagues, support, friends, lesbians, lesbianism, guy, lesbians, men demotivated. Okay, good. Friendship. Fantastic. Okay, finally, what do you see? 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 Refugees, corporate bodies, people need help. Religion, worshippers, religion, worshippers, religion. Okay. Now the question is, how did you arrive at your conclusion? How did you arrive at your conclusion? So let me take you back to this first lady. You know what I see? I only see one thing in all of them. I see my customers. Now you see why many of you never make so much money as family life coaches, because you have turned yourself to moral compass of the world. There is the first principle as a professional, is the principle called neutrality. Right? Neutrality says you must sit on your seat as a professional, not as a judge, not as a pastor, not as an imam, not as anybody. You must sit. So the question is, if this girl, you don't even know her, you didn't meet her, you didn't know whether she's somebody, her husband is traveling and she's missing the husband and she doesn't want him to go. So she has gone to dress to seduce him, to say, you know, if I wear that thing, I know you will not go. Come back to me, daddy. You didn't know. You didn't know whether she's even modeling for the people selling bomb shots. You didn't know. Okay, so let me ask you a question. If this lady stands up and you now realize that she's your blood sister, will you still call her what you call her before now? Many of us assume, and that is the number one way money moves away from you. You assume, you judge people, you don't give them a benefit of a doubt. In fact, I love a few people who looked at this and they said, I see a lady wearing shorts. That is what you can see. That is what data is showing. I can see a lady wearing shorts, wearing a jumper, leaning maybe over a car. That's all I can see. Professionals don't judge people. You are not an activist. Activists judge. Professionals don't. Because the offender and the offended, both of them need you. So let's even assume that this girl is a problem. You have called her a prostitute, but then you now realize, and let's even say you have even gone to abuse her. You are a whore, you are an harlot. And then she stands up and you realize that she's the only daughter of Dangote, the richest man in Africa. And the father said, yeah, we've been trying to get her right, but we had you're a family life coach, and then we want to hire you, name your price, and then you've named your price, and then the father said, how much do you want to charge? And you said the father, well, I can help you out with $1 million. And Dangote said, okay, we will pay you the money on Monday, but we need you to meet the girl. And you meet the girl, and the girl realized that you were the man who called her a prostitute. What do you think will happen? And she said, I can't work with you. Let them go get me someone else. You know what? You will lose the money. They will come and look for me because I'm not going to judge her. Right? Even the Bible says God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him will be saved. Some of you have become L accreditation officers. You are confusing your professionalism with every other thing you're doing. And at the end of the day, you lose the people that should come to you. So you can see how you have been rigged to judge people. You know, if I stop here right now, you've learned something, right? Your job is not to judge. Your job is to be curious. Every time you see something that you don't understand, get curious instead of judgment, right? You judge your helpers quickly. You judge your customers quickly. Then you say, nobody's coming to me. Nobody's coming because you see the world in black and white. The world is never in black and white. Never. Right? And so that's the way you see, because there are several shades that you don't understand. What if you eventually meet this girl and this girl says to you that, oh, that she was kidnapped by some people and that what she's even wearing was what somebody gave her, that she just escaped kidnappers den and she's negotiating for a car to pick her up. You don't know the story, but your bias has kicked in almost immediately. Your job is to be curious. You don't know these people. Maybe they're having a birthday party. Maybe it's a dress, a costume, whatever. Maybe they are doing fashion parade, but then you have judged, right? Then you look at this one. You don't even know what is going on here. All I see is my clients. All of them need me. I don't see lesbian. I don't see gay. Every human being, God told Abraham, through you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. Through you, all has to be whole. Can God bless you? Can God bless all the families of the earth through you? This is why God never puts the solution to humanity in our hand. Because he knows if it gets into your hand, he will not touch some people. If you will hold it and give them a precondition. So you need to understand that professionals don't judge. Professionals are curious. Right? And that's why we say the moment your interpretation becomes subjective and you are caught in the bog of stereotyping, your ability to build a profitable business becomes hampered because you no longer see human beings. What you see are labels, you lose customers, and you excuse yourself from what they can pay. So you'll be telling, these people are bad. These people are useless. Sometimes in Nigeria, they say, oh, this man raped this girl. And then they want me to join and carry placard. I don't like what the man did. I hated it. But you know what? The girl that was raped is coming to me. The man that raped him needs my help. So I can't judge anyone. I sit in there. I don't like it. I don't endorse it. But I'm the one that will heal both of them. That's who you are, right? And that's why from today, everybody you see, as long as they are from a family, they are your potential customers. As long as they were born by a woman, you are the one that can get them right. In fact, the reason they are misbehaving is because they did not hire you to help them set up a system that can produce effective people in society. And so, the question is, what is your people perceptual code? Every human being you see, what is that one word that will represent them going forward? Everybody I see, I treat them as royalties. Royalty is my own perceptual code. Every human being is a royalty. Every human being. I'll give them the respect. I'll give them the honor. That's the way I deal. That's the way I keep my relationship. So what will you see going forward? With every time you step out, what will you choose to see? It's your choice what you see. So we say that the biggest error in the world today is the error of assumption. What you know is all you know. But all you know is not all there is to know. What you know is all you know. But all you know is not all there is to know. There are so many things that you don't know. And you have to be humble to say, you know what, I don't know this, I need help. And so a family life practitioner whose knowledge base is skewed can cause more harm than good. And we see many of them all over Africa. In fact, the biggest error is on the pulpit, right? It's on the pulpit because people just say all kinds of things. I'm sure you've had people say men are logical, women are emotional. That's hogwash. Every human being has emotion and logic. The one you have utilized the most that becomes more pronounced. I'm sure we have women on this call who are more logical than emotional. If you're a woman on this call, you are more logical than emotional. Can you type I? So it's not correct. Oh, the first need of a man is respect. The first need of a woman is love. Hello? Every human being needs, thank you, Monda. Thank you, Titi. Thank you, Abe. Every human being needs logic and love. Every human being needs love and respect. There is no woman that doesn't want to be respected. There is no man that doesn't want to be loved. But you know, this stereotyping has gone for too long because people are still living in old age. I mean, in the past. So if your knowledge is skewed, you are going to cause more harm. That's why you can't look at any case without any psychometry and say this is what is wrong. I know what is wrong. The woman is to blame. She will talk anyhow. No. Why will you talk to your husband? Hello, that's not how this thing is done. Right? Your job is to help your client make an informed decision. Your job is not to judge them. So the question is, how skilled are you in handling the various problems in the family life sector? So I'm going to take you through a simple assessment. On your notepad, what is your desired family life practice result? If all your dreams can come to pass right now, what would it look like? If you can get paid to do this work that you are doing, how much would you like to be paid? You can even put your answer on the chat box. How much? Let's say I give you a blank check to say this year, how much would you like to get paid? As a family life professional, what will you tell me? What will you write now? Okay? $500,000 or Naira or what? Let's put your currency there, or Rand or CD. Okay? Good. $1 million. 500,000 per session. Not bad. Okay? I love these numbers. 5,000 a month. And Michelin on there. Michelin, you should be doing way more than that. The you I know. I want to make impact more than money. Okay? I love these people who want to make impact more than money. Hello? So you don't need the money. You can give the money to us. We will make the impact and we'll make the money. Okay? That's a limiting belief in there. We'll get there. 500,000, 100,000 Naira per person, 5 million, 600,000. Okay. Okay. But the question is, what are your current results? What do you charge at the moment? If you are charging 0, put 0 there. If you are charging 1,000, put 1,000 there. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Free of charge. Freely have you received. Freely have you give. You should give. That's not true. You are not receiving. This thing is costing your data. Okay? $20. Jeez. The person that is charging $20, I can give like 10 jobs right away. I can engage you right now and pay you like $40 per session. Right? $300 per session. About $20 per session. Okay. I can all these $20 people, I can actually hire you right away. Okay, but that's good. Thank you very much. You guys are I love what you've done. But then the question is, how many people, right, in the last 1 year, can you put an estimate, right, of how many clients you have successfully assisted in the last 1 year? Right? If you can put a number, like people asking you for advice, people asking you for help, like how many? What's the conservative number that you can remember in the last 1 year? Okay, Elizabeth said 50, 45, 20, 15 clients, 50, 5, 3 families, over 20, 10, okay, 50 persons, reached about 60, 100, Tabo, 100, wow, that's a lot. 100 in a year, wow. Okay, over 30. Now, for those of you who have helped this number of people, right, how much were they willing to pay you to solve this problem? You have 40 families, 100 families. How much were they willing to pay you to solve these problems for them? None. Okay, they were not willing to pay you anything. Okay, nothing. Okay, Angela, that is going to change. Right? I'll tell you what's going on. Okay, I saw something. No, just church service. Okay. Aha. Why does it feel wrong to charge someone for a humanitarian emergency? Okay. Samuel, I don't know where you live in right now, but if you park up in Nigeria and they have to send you to an hospital, even if you're on gunshot, they will likely ask you for money to pay before they help you, right? Because you think it's a humanitarian emergency. This is a major profession, right? And end up not paying at all. Over 95 created on the platform. Okay, fantastic. The real problem you are having, okay, Melissa said $30 per session since I was working with family who had children abusing. Okay, Melissa, so I understand. What beliefs have you installed? And what templates are you using? And what is your confidence level? This is where the problem is. For some of you, you have some beliefs that will not make you earn what you should earn. For some of you, it's the template you are using that is the problem. So for example, if you were like me, many years ago, I used to believe that, oh, God will take care of me. Freely have you received, freely give. Until one day, I was invited to a place called Ikorodu. I went to speak there. And I said, oh, whatever you give me is fine. God will take care of me. And they paid me 30,000 naira. But the road to the place was so bad that when I got home, my car developed a problem. And the mechanic came. The mechanic did not say, oh, he's a man of God. He's helping people, humanitarian. The mechanic sent me an invoice of 180,000 naira, which I didn't have. You know what I did? I humbled myself to go and beg my wife for a loan because she works in a bank. So give me a loan. From that day, I sat down and I cried. And I was like, God, why? Then it dawned on me that I was pretending that I was a senior pastor of 1,000 people, right? I was an unlicensed man of God. I'm not a pastor, I'm a professional. But why would I say as a professional that they should not pay me? In every labor, there's profit. But you know what I found out? I discovered that the man who was my mentor when I was learning consulting is a pastor whose wife also had a big business. So every time we went out, they wanted to pay him. The man would say, no, God has paid it. Let us do it. So I realized I was echoing the man, right? And I didn't chart my own pathway. So I went to get another mentor. And that guy said to me, Praise, you need to create what is called code of engagement. He said, with your code of engagement, it will separate those that need you from those that want you. So he gave me a sample of his own. So I created my code of engagement, and he said to me, every time you are invited, send this thing to them. The code of engagement had what you should prepare, the kind of whatever, the kind of hotel I was sleeping, and how much I'll get paid. So He said, don't worry. They will start saying that you are proud, you like money. But all the days you have been poor, they didn't complain that you were poor. So I sent the code of engagement. Mind you, before then, I was doing averagely of 12 speaking engagements in a month. 12. By the time I put the money together, I was struggling to make 200,000 naira after going to 12 places. So when I started using that document, the first thing that happened was that monthly dropped from 12 to 3. But you know the 3, because I put in there that what I charged was 500,000, $500,000. Those 3 people were willing to pay. So I was doing less. So I moved from 12 running around to 3. With my 12, I was earning 200,000. With my 3, I was earning 1.5 million. I had more time with my family. I was able to take my child to school by myself, pick him up, spend time with him. I was no longer traveling from pillar to post. Some people will fly you to Abuja and pay you 40,000, 50,000. That was what changed my life. And so for some of you, your beliefs had to change, your template had to change, and then your confidence, your competent confidence, which is why I always tell people, see, many of the false prophets in Africa are the biggest marketers. You know why people patronize them? They are audacious. They have confidence. They will be telling you as if they know what will happen tomorrow. They are so confident, and the world will give money to a confident man. In fact, we say that an ignorant man who sells his ignorance with confidence will take over the market from a competent man who sells his competence with timidity. And so there are 7 reasons why family life practitioners struggle. Number 1 is profitability mental block. People keep asking, can this work pay my bills? Oh, some people say, freely have you received, freely have you. You have not received this session freely. It's costing your data. If you come to our class, it's not free. You pay school fees to learn. Then we handhold you, we mentor you, right? And so profitability mental block. Some of us, especially for people like me, I grew up in church, right? I grew up in church, right? And what we were taught is just very crazy, right? Because we just do it for free. We do it for free. And we carry that mentality to our professionalism. No. So you need to understand that this work can pay your bills. It's paid my bills. It's bought me a lot of things. And there are people who live on this. Number 2 problem is lack of creative productization. Busy, but yet to create any transformative solution that the market needs, right? A lot of us, we have solutions, but it's not well packaged. One of the things I learned to do is to productize, right? And then you can leverage. You are so busy everywhere, but if they ask you, what product can we buy from you? Many people don't know. I have a new product right now for executives. We're going to Mexico in March, right? Taking them to Mexico. I'm going to be locking them down for 4 days, and then we're going to help them create an introduction to their family office, right? When I come to Africa, we're going to Cotonou, right? These are products I've created, right? There are so many products. I just love to create products that people are willing to pay for. So you need to find out, what does the market need? Don't tell me I'm in Malawi, I'm in Uganda, they can't pay me. Let me tell you, if people are spending money in the club, then they can pay you. If people are spending money on prostitutes, then they can pay you. If people are spending money on clothes and food, then they can pay you. It's how you package yourself. Number 3, obsolete and ineffective practice templates. You cannot use the old tools to run the new system. How relevant are your tools, methods, and messages today? How much do you trust them to produce? You can't stand in front of Gen Zs and be telling them the first thing of a man is respect, the first thing of a woman is love, anybody that cannot, a woman, the way into a man's heart is through his belly. They are just going to laugh at you. In fact, they will drag you on social media to say you are talking rubbish, right? And so you need to check your tool. You know, in the olden days, the people come to you. This day you go to them. That's why if you are here, you are not functional on social media, your practice is at risk. The way I write on LinkedIn is different from the way I write on Facebook. It's different from what I do on Instagram. I understand each of those platforms, even it's different from what I do on TikTok. So you cannot be using obsolete tools, right? Right now, I can diagnose accurately couples problem in 15 minutes. Maximum. I can actually do it in 5 minutes. But maximum time of 15 minutes, I know what is wrong, 96%, and I can design my intervention within 1 hour. But then you are still sitting with them. Oh yeah, husband, tell your own. Husband is saying his own. Wife is saying his own. When husband and wife have spent 2 hours, how? That's why many family life people eventually lose their homes. Because they don't have time for themselves. I don't have time to sit with anybody for 3 hours, except the strategy. And if it's strategy, that's like $1,500. Right? And so you need to understand, number 4, inability to master business systems. If you don't, there is the knowledge of the family life, there is the business of the family life. No scalable system structures and strategies. You must have clear structures, clear framework, clear strategies. You must be able to create what is your business model. You need to know your business model. If you're in Uganda, if you're in South Africa, if you are in Ghana, what is my business model? Am I reaching out to the upper class, lower class, or the middle class? If it is upper class, they have a language, they have a persona. There's a way you must shoot your video. If it's the middle class, there's a language, there's what they're interested in. They love. If it's the lower class will not give you money, but you need to get funding for it, right? So you better find donor agency that will donate for you to serve the lower class, right? Or if you are going to hand from the lower class, it has to be something that they can part with, right? I don't like to play that because, number 1, they can't even understand me. So you need to understand this. Your business model must be clear. Number 5, confusing family life practice with activism. A luta continua, Victoria Asata, solidarity forever. That's not who you are. You are a family life coach. You are not an activist. So if they say, oh, let us go and march against government, that's not you. The government they are marching against needs you. Their family needs you. The people marching also need you. It doesn't mean you are weak. It just means that you understand your role, that you stand between the living and the dead. So don't just go there every time they see something happen. You go there and abuse them. Oh, the one lady dressed anyhow. Professionals don't ask what. Professional laymen ask what is happening. Professionals ask 2 questions. Why is it happening? How is it happening? Why takes you to the root cause? How shows you the pattern? If you understand why and how, you can create any intervention that will work. Right? And so always remember, you ask why, how. So whenever they say, look at that person, it's a useless person, useless girl, she's leaving her husband. You are asking why is she leaving her husband? If you ask the question, it shows answers. Right? And how is she living? It shows you the pattern. And number 6, practitioner low self-esteem. Who am I to teach anyone how to do marriage better? Yeah, who are you not to teach somebody how to do marriage better? Right? You've got all it takes. You have all it takes. So the world needs to hear you. Some of us have that low self-esteem. I am not anointed. You don't need anointing. In fact, anointing is the word empowerment. Empowerment is competence. Right? And so whatever you know at whatever level you are, somebody needs it. Right? And then that takes me number 7, certification without contextualization. So I see people, oh, I'm Harvard certified, I am US certified, but I earn more than them. Right? Because you need to contextualize. Whatever you're learning in Harvard is not relevant in Africa. You need to do the groundwork and understand how Africa works. My colleagues in America would tell me, Praise, why is it that your people don't complete their session? And I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing? Because here, you start therapy, they don't tell you when it's going to end. So I've seen people in therapy for 7 years. So they'll tell you, we tell your people, they have to do 20 sessions or 30 sessions, and then they start by the 3rd one, they don't come again. Why will they come? You know why our people don't come? I told them, I said, it's the same way we take medication. When doctor gives us a medication and tells us use it for 10 days, by the 5th day, if you are well, you are unlikely going to complete it. So I said, it's the psychology of our people. I said, so if you are doing pay as you go, he has come today, he paid you $200. Tomorrow he's coming to pay you $200. An African person will sit back and say, why should I pay him $300? You tell the wife, let's stop fighting so that we don't waste money. That's the thinking. But if you tie them to a bouquet, they will finish their session. Right. And so the reality check is, which of these reasons can you easily relate with? Out of the 1 to 7, which of them do you think you are guilty of right now? Can I see your answers in the chat box? Okay. I'm happy to be part of this. All of it. Elizabeth said all of it. Somebody says, how many sessions do couples need to heal? That's the wrong question. You first need to find out what is wrong with them, right? If you do psychometry to know what is wrong with them, then you figure out. Sometimes it's 6 sessions, but maximum time 12 sessions. The person is totally okay. All of it, number 6, all of it, okay, fantastic. Now, at the root of a struggling practice are some self-sabotaging beliefs that every high-performing professional has uninstalled. So I want you to pay attention to this, because if you don't change your belief, right, then there is no way you can scale. So what are some of these beliefs? I'll just quickly run through them, then I will give you an assignment to do before tomorrow. There are 6 limiting beliefs that sabotage the progress of a passionate family life practitioner. Because there is what we call the triangle of life, that if you want a result, you ask, what result do I want? What beliefs do I have about that result? And what action step must I take? This is one of the triangles we use in therapy. We ask the client, what result do you want? Then based on the result they want, we ensure that there's alignment of their belief with the result, and then we look at the action. Most of the time we look at the action. So somebody says, I want a good marriage. But then what is their belief? My husband is a useless man. Is a cheat. That is the belief. That belief cannot produce that outcome. Then you look at their action. They are checking his phone. They are fighting every girl around him. That action is sabotaging the result. So what we do is we look at the result, we install the new belief, and then we install the right action, and then new results are produced. So here are some of the beliefs that you need to uninstall. Number 1, family life practice does not pay well. That's a limiting belief that sabotages the progress of a passionate family life professional. Oh, it doesn't pay well. If you say it doesn't pay well, come and ask me. I know it pays very well. I know it pays very, 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 very well, right? I know it pays well. It depends on where you're playing. So don't have the belief that it doesn't pay well. I know colleagues who earn $300,000 per annum from this job, $1 million per annum from this job, right? So don't say that it doesn't pay well. It actually pays well, right? That's number 1. Number 2, limiting belief. Family life practice is a gift from God and cannot be learned from any school. I'm sure you've heard that before. That's a fallacy. It's a gift from God, but if you come to America and claim that you are a therapist without going to school, you will go to jail, right? So yes, you can have the potential and the aptitude. Even Jesus learned obedience by what he suffered. Jesus went to school. He was in the school with the professors, right? So you cannot stay at the level of talent. You need to polish your talent into skill. Oh, it's a gift from God. You know, God gave it to me. If you're a prophet, say you're a prophet. But then you cannot be prophesying over people's marital lives, right? Because what you do is your job is to discover the root cause analysis and create intervention that can help your clients well. And you can't design solutions outside the scope of what they permitted you. And so it's important, right, for you to understand that this limiting belief has sabotaged many people. Number 3, you cannot be a good family life professional if you are not married or if you are divorced. That's not true. I wasn't married when I started working with people, and I've helped lots of people before I ever got married. In fact, I have some of the families I worked with before I was married. Some of them are now, the children in those families are now married, right? And I see them. I was taking a fascinating workshop, 3-day workshop in Saskatchewan in Canada. Regina is in the province called Saskatchewan, right? In December or November, I think last week in November. And then I saw a girl there. She said to me, Mr. Praise, when I was 8, you worked on our family life. You helped my parents. And look at me today. I've just gotten married as well. And he said, the model you taught them is what I'm teaching my husband right now. So it's not true. Or then if you are divorced, that's not true. Your divorce has nothing to do with your competence. It takes 2 people to make a marriage work. There is no woman that can keep a home that a bad man has vowed to destroy. And there is no good man that can keep a home that a bad woman has vowed to destroy. When your partner has turned against you, there is nothing you can do. They will need to go. And let's get it straight. Progress is not always forward movement. Sometimes progress is going back to default. If you have married someone that is going to kill you, progress is getting off that shit, right? I know that will be stuff for religious people, but God has not created you to die in any marriage. The covenant of life is superior to any kind of covenant, so that you survive toxicity. And then somebody is saying that God cannot use you again. That person is not God. Thank God. You know God, and then you know God can still use you. So you cannot be a foreign. This is not true. Number 4, all you need is a foreign certification for your practice to be recognized. I can show you 100 people with foreign certification and nobody's going to them. That you have certificate does not mean clients are going to come to you. Some of you study family science, or maybe you study therapy or guidance and counseling. How many clients come to you? Do governors come to you? No. Your packaging has got to be tight for people to come to you. So this is not true as well. You don't have enough capacity to help others. Who am I syndrome? Hello? Why not you? Let me tell you, at whatever level you are, you have enough. You are enough, right? When I didn't know so much, I was telling the whole world that I was the best that existed. I was telling everyone that cared to say, you know what, I'm going to be one of the highest paid in this industry. In fact, I told them that after a while, I'm going to be in top 10 globally. And I'm not backing down on that. I know I'm going to do it. Oh, you don't have enough capacity. Who defines the capacity? So you don't look down on yourself. And number 6, you need a lot of social media followers to attract enough paying clients. It's not true. It's not true. I know someone who has less than 500 followers on Instagram, yet work with HNIs. Sometimes it's networking, being in the right group, talking to the right person, right? Volunteering. The first job I did in America, I got to the US. My cousin said, let's go to the club one night. I followed him to the club. I've never been to a club in Nigeria, right? So I followed him to the club. I saw a Nigerian, an African man who was opposite the seat. He's the only black man in the worldwide club. So I got talking to him and he said, what are you doing in America? So I told him, I have 1 year to do this thing and get my green card. And the guy said, oh, who do you want to work with? And I told him, I said, I know one man, if I reach that man, I can reach multiple organizations at the same time. Oh, he said, I know where you can get him. Told me it's church. Told you, go to that church, but you must make sense in 5 minutes. If you make sense to him in 5 minutes, he will open his door to you. So I went and I pitched to him. In 5 minutes, the man gave me an appointment. I went to see him, but he told me, oh, separate, I see what you can do. But then I have this challenge. Can you solve it? And I've been taught that if I know someone who can open doors for me, I must not charge for their own job. So he said, how much do I pay? I said, let's do the job. In America, that's strange. This is a capitalist system, right? So I did the job. I was working with his staff for about 12 weeks, every week, training them. Every time he asked me, what do we pay you? I said, no, don't worry, sir. Don't worry. I'm fine, right? What do we pay you? Don't worry. Let me just do it. That was how I finished the entire job. Then I wanted to do a training. So I now said that I'm doing this training. Sir, can you help me send it to all your contacts? He said, no problem. It's done. He sent it to all his contacts. The training was going to cost $2,000. So he said to me, he said, Prince, can it be $1,000? I said, sir, whatever you say, I will charge. So I put it at $1,000. And then he blasted it to all his people. I slept off. I woke up and I looked at my PayPal and I looked at my bank account. And I just saw that my bank account was like $80,000. I couldn't believe what was going on. Apparently, 80 organizations had registered. I looked at my PayPal. I mean, it didn't, but 130 people, organizations have signed up that year. That's $130,000, right? I didn't have social media follow. I just knew one man to meet who can open the door, and I knew how to engage. It's called rules of engagement, right? And so, out of all these beliefs, which of them do you think is sabotaging you? Can you write it down on the chat box? Or you put it in your note? Which of these beliefs, these 6, are you most guilty of? Okay, number 6, you need a lot of social media followers to attract paying clients. Okay, number 6, somebody said all, number 6. So it looks like this number 6 is not correct, right? You only need to meet one man who can open the door. If I were you in the country, whatever country you live in, I'll be targeting the number 1 man of God and the number 1 imam, because religious leaders have a hold on their people. I'll be targeting what I can do for the head of one parastatal, one governor, one governor's wife. I'll be looking for what I can do. And I will show them that I am competent, right? I designed the entire program that all the marriage registrars in Lagos State are using. I designed it. And now they're offering the course online right now, right? So I know that these things work. Now, so I want you to put one sabotaging beliefs down. We're going to change that beliefs right now. I want you to write one belief. Identify one limiting belief, your progress that is sabotaging you right now. Write it down on your note. Just write one. I'll show you how to change a belief. If you have written it, I want you to look at that belief. Is it serving you? Is that belief giving you the result you want? Okay? Is it giving you the result you want? If it's not giving you the result you want, what is it already costing you? What is that belief that is, what is it costing you right now? Fantastic. Fantastic. So you already know what is costing you. Are there moments in your life or in the life of other people that this belief has proven to be wrong? Are there moments in your life, based on your observation, that I know that this belief is not totally correct? So, has there been event that has happened that prove that this belief is not totally correct? Okay, good. Somebody says yes. So if that answer is correct, what must you now believe to get the result you want? If you have to replace that belief with a new belief that can get you your desired result, what will your new beliefs be? Fantastic. So write out your new belief. What action steps will you take to install these new beliefs? What action steps? So you have a new belief. What must you do tomorrow, in fact tonight, to install this new belief? What are the action steps you can quickly that validates this new belief? What are the 3 things you must do tonight, tomorrow? So list the activities you must do tonight and tomorrow to validate the new belief. If you do those 3 things, you have a new belief. It's that simple. Fantastic. So that's a simple belief change exercise. Now, so having said all of this, if you have learned something today, can you type I? I have about 10 minutes and I'll be done here. But I'm about to share the most important part of this meeting that you can't afford to miss if you're an African. So don't go. In 10 minutes, I will be done with this. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. I want you to look at all these pictures in the screen. These are divorces that have taken place in Africa and maybe outside of Africa in the last 5 years. From Jeff Bezos to Two-Face to all these people. You know some of them. What is the real impact of this divorce on our young people, on our families? In fact, Jeff Bezos' divorce, when he settled his wife, that settlement made McKinsey the 22nd richest person in the world, just by settling the woman of divorce. She became the 22nd richest person in the world. So you see a lot of girls now tell you, I will marry the man and I'll divorce him and I'll collect my money. Hello, he works outside of Africa. This collection of this thing, it does not work like that in Africa. But what this thing is showing is that it's making marriage undesirable. If you talk to young people, many of them don't want to marry. That's why it looks like sexual immorality has increased. So they are partners, they are besties, they are sleeping together, but there's no plan to marry. Now, I will show you why you need to take this seriously. African continent today has 1.46 billion people. That's about 18 to 19% of the world's population. Africa is the youngest and fastest growing continent globally. The median age in Africa is 19 years. By 2050, Africa is projected to reach 2.5 billion people. By 2100, Africa will have about 4 billion people. So look at the black population across the world. Africa, black people in the world is about 1.6 billion people. Africa has 1.46 billion. Caribbean 45 million, United States 48 million, Latin America 130 to 150 million, Europe is 15 to 20 million, Canada and other regions is 5 to 10 million, 10 million. Africa alone has 90% of the global Black population. But look at World Health Organization is saying, global mental health workforce. Africa has an average of 1 mental health worker to 100,000 people. And this includes psychiatry, psychology, psychiatry nurse, social workers, and other specialist roles. This means for every 100,000 people, there's only 1 trained mental health professional, right? So it means that there are 14,600 mental health workers across Africa to be reaching out to 1.46 billion people. That's already a tragedy, right? And so if we look at that numbers and we say, okay, let's assume everyone on this call, or let's assume we want to solve marital problems in Africa. What is the estimate or ratio that we're going to use? So let's even say that the best of us will do 250 families a year. Let me tell you, if you are doing 250 families a year, you are likely going to die very soon, except you are doing group coaching. If you are doing one-on-one, 250 is enough to mess up your year, right? Because it takes a whole lot of intensity to profile one family. So already it means we're in trouble. So let's say we want to meet the mental health worker deficit in Africa, because Africa ultimately needs 1.2 million competent family life professionals. Not therapists alone, but system thinkers, strategists, and stabilizers. You need 1.2 million in Africa right now to reach out to 290 million families. And so if we say that we want to train, we want to do that numbers in 25 years, to achieve 1.2 million mental workers in 25 years, we will need to train 48,000 professionals per year. If we want to do it in 20 years, we will need 60,000 professionals per year. If we want to do it in 10 years, we need to train 120,000 professionals per year. This is already scary. And so what we are saying this year, before you go, tomorrow we're going to continue, but I'm going to give you an assignment to do against tomorrow. What we are doing this year, we have said that Africa for Africa, solving Africa problems for Africa. We are now recruiting what we call family system engineering champions across every nation in Africa, right? It's an invitation to those who make things happen without excuses. We're going to do already the mental deficit. We can't even meet the requirement. We need 48,000 per year to hit the target. We can't do that. We won't kill ourselves. What we have done is to say we can do 1,000. If we have 1,000 skilled professionals across various African countries, then we can do a whole lot. So this is inviting you. If you want to be certified, if you want to work with us using our model, if you want to get into the cohort for February, right? This is a course you need to sign up for tonight. Latest tomorrow, you have to sign up for this course. Now you're going to learn everything you need on how to accurately diagnose cases, how to analyze cases, how to create intervention management. But after class, we are also going to mentor you and hold you, ensure that you know what you're doing, attach you to a mentor, right? And so this is what we have decided to do. Every year at the Institute, the prices go up, right? So the price for 2026 for this course is about $750,000 Naira, which is about, $500. But what we've done is for this set, and this is the last time we're doing it, we're going to retain the price for last year, right? After this cohort, we will revert back to the pricing for 2026. So what is going to happen is for this boot camp, we'll retain the price at 600,000 Naira, which is about $404, right? But what we're going to further do is that if you are able to make your full payment within 72 hours, then you can pay 540,000 Naira, which is $372. But this offer is for 72 hours, right? So you need to quickly use the link right now and go register yourself. Now, last year, a couple of people started reaching out to us to say, well, can they do instrumental payment? If you want to lock down your deal today and spread the rest of your payment, you can pay $200,000 today, which is $138, and spread your balance. But last year, students started telling us, oh, can you do student loan? So the good news is that now we have student loan. We have a relationship with a bank that has decided to do student loan for people who desire to do student loan. And then there's another way you can do the student loan where you can pay either in 4 months or in 6 months, right? You can click on the link and sign up for the student loan if student loan is what you need, right? And then if you meet all the criteria, you have 2 guarantors that can stand for you. You do a down payment and you spread the rest of your payment across 6 months or 4 months, then you can have access to the student loan. But let me tell you guys, we all need to take this course. You all need to master this. Africa needs us. For us, it's more of a calling. It's more of let's get more people equipped. Your country that you are in needs you. Your state needs you. You need, what we have said to ourselves is that we are going to raise the most competent family life professionals humanity deserves. Now, tomorrow, we're going to teach you the 5 core rules that you need to master. As a family life professional in 2026, you don't want to miss that session. But before you come tomorrow, these are the 3 assignments I'm going to give you. 1, I want you to write a personal commitment statement to yourself on the future of your family life practice, the value you will bring, and how much you will get paid. That's the first task I'm going to give you. You write a personal commitment statement to yourself on the future of your family life practice, the value you will bring, and how much you will get paid. Number 2, what is limiting your capacity to operate at the highest level, and what are you going to do about it? You need to solve that problem tonight. Number 3, I want to share your experience today, what you have learned today. Put it on your social media page and tag IFED Academy. That's the institute's handle, and you can tag me on Instagram. I am Prince Fowowe, or Prince Fowowe on Facebook. So those are the 3 tasks you have to do. Now, tomorrow we start at the same time and we'll take you through the new rules that you need to master. Today is a taster. Tomorrow, we are going to take it to another level, and you can't afford to miss it. Invite your friends, invite your family, but much more than that, go sign up for this. I can't wait to see you in February class. February class, I'm going to facilitate a lot of it. You don't want to miss it for anything. We're going to provide support for you. And the students who are resuming for this set, we have some special packages for you that other sets paid for that you're going to get for free, right? For example, once you leave class, all the coaching script you need to start your practice, you're going to have it, right? Everything you need to ensure that you are successful, where you will have no excuse, is going to be given to you. Other sets have had to go buy it, but it will be given to you, right? So this is where I'm going to stop. If I have any question, I'll take a question. But if I'm going to see you in class, if you are one of the 1,000 champions, I want you to type champion on the chat box. If I'm going to see you in class, you are one of the 1,000 African champions this year that will mitigate the gap, solve problems wherever you are. Okay, good. I'm already seeing the people. The course is virtual, so you don't need to leave your room. Whatever country you're in, we're going to see you. Okay, I'm seeing more people, all the champions. Hey, let's celebrate them. My champions are coming to class. We will solve African problem. I am dead sure about that. So please go ahead, make your payment. If you want student loan offer, check on the student loan portal and then apply for it. They'll reach out to you. Okay, see, if I have all these people on this call in the class, we would have solved the major problem, because then we can decide to say, oh, we are doing a conference in Malawi. All of us will land in Malawi. Oh, next year is going to be Uganda. We'll all fly to Uganda, right? Next year is going to be Ghana. We all come to Ghana. We need to collapse the walls that have separated Africa. We all need to come together as Africans and deliver our continent once and for all. So go ahead, all my champions, and go sign up. I can't wait to see you in class. I'll see you tomorrow. I am able to take 1 or 2 questions tonight. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand and I will take your question. If you have any question you want to ask me before we go, just raise your hand and then I will invite you. But then if there is no question, I will hand you over back to Ayobami. Yeah. But go ahead, make your sign-ups, type champion, keep typing champions. You are our champions. Africa needs you. Thank you. Okay, I can see Trevor.
Thank you, PF. That was incredibly insightful. Okay, hand is up. Trevor Zimba. Let's have you. I need you to keep writing champion, 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 because if you're not taking this, I don't know what you're doing. If you've been here for the past, and you are still not typing, I don't know what you're doing. This is transformational. Your life will completely turn around. Your life will completely turn around. There's no other place to be. No one does it better in the whole of Africa, and it's a global platform. It's a global platform. This solution has gone to the world, not even Africa alone. So I don't know if you don't want to be a part of this. I don't know what you're learning anywhere else. I don't know what you're learning. And without knowledge, you can just imagine the damage you're going to be causing lives. And that's not you. That's not you. So write your champion. Write it, write it, write it. Trevor, please unmute and go ahead. Ask your question, please.
Thank you very much and good evening. I just wanted to find out, I don't know whether you are able to get me now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, please. I just wanted to find out, firstly, I joined late. I had challenges with my connectivity. By the way, I'm coming from Zambia.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I wanted to know first of all, the qualifications for somebody to be a life practitioner.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm a social worker,
a
practicing social worker, but I wanted to know any other qualifications or professional accreditations that are needed. And secondly, I wanted to know whether Zambia is part of the countries that can qualify for sponsorship. Just about.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, we don't have sponsorships at the moment. We're working on trying to see how we can get sponsorship to some African countries that can afford it. We are not done with that for now, right? So, but what you can do, if you need us to give you a letter to maybe sponsor us in Zambia from the Institute, we will do that. We can send you a letter that you can, or that can show that, okay, you've been admitted to study this course and the benefit is going to give to your country. That can be done. You just send a mail to the Institute and then they will, but you're already a social worker, so you're more than qualified. In coaching, there is no entry barrier, as it were. So you're more than qualified, but it's going to make you more effective even as a social worker, because I can imagine the amount of time you spend listening to people. It's going to give your country also data, because the entire process is data driven, and then there's a whole lot to unpack. Some of us have to pay out of pocket for these courses when they started. I've had to take a lot of courses. I don't even wait for anybody to sponsor me. I go all out, and what we've done successfully right now is to create a student loan pathway that allows people drop an upfront and then spread their payment. And there's a bank that is giving that that has supported us to make that work happen for people. Yeah. So Trevor, that's what I can say for now. Yeah. Olajumoke, I can see your hand. What's your question?
Good evening, Mr. Praise. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My first question is that I'd like to know if there is a certification to the end after this course, and what is the level of acceptance of the certification, if there is anyone.
Okay.
Then my second question will be that I noticed that you have 3 categories of pricing. You have the 600,000, you have the one for 500 and something thousand if you sign up within 72 hours, and you also have the one for student loan. So I wanted to know if you also have the one for I think a deposit of 200,000 to show your interest. Then you can pay instrumentally going forward. So I wanted to know that. I wanted to know, for somebody who wants to enjoy the 72,000 72 hours pricing, and you don't have all the money, if you pay part of it, will you still be able to enjoy it? That's my other question.
Sorry, if you pay part of which money? Part of the money for
signing up within 72 hours. If you don't pay the complete money and you get to pay maybe the balance in a month's time or in 2 months' time, will you still be able to enjoy that pricing instead of paying 600,000?
What you need to do for that person is to talk to any of the admin. I think they have numbers. They just chat them up to explain what you're trying to do. I'm sure they can make something out, work out something out for you. Do you get? So that's that. Now about the certification. When you finish class, you become an associate practitioner because you need to attend 60% of the class. There are tasks, there are exams to write in class in 13 weeks. All right. When you pass, you must make 60% to graduate. When you graduate, you earn a certificate called Associate Practitioner Certificate. Then you are expected to go to the field and do your field work, which is called practicum. When you do your practicum, you now face an exit panel. All right. That exit panel will test your knowledge, look at everything you've done in the field, and then you will now earn your second certification, which is the Certified Family System Engineering Practitioner, wherein you will hand your lapel, right? And so those are the whatever. And you see, the framework you are given is a global framework that you can deploy in any nation of the world. I live in America. That's the model I use in America. I go to Canada. That's the model I use in Canada. I work with clients across the globe. Because let me tell you, the future of the world is actually such that university education is going to be like 6 months in the future, right? Because everything is going to collapse. If you interact with ChatGPT is your enemy, is your competitor. Let me not say your enemy right now, right? In fact, I see a whole lot of what people are doing right now with ChatGPT is a threat even to our profession. It's just that there are things they cannot do, right? And so you need to understand that across the globe right now, nobody is going to likely have Harvard or Yale. People are going to say, what framework are you using? Where did you get it? What's the credibility of that framework? And then can it solve problems, right? If somebody has passed out, right, the person is not going to be asking at that point, take me to St. Nicholas. No, the person that can resuscitate the person is the person that has a solution, right? But the framework is acceptable across the globe. It's people, some of us have used it across different continents of the world, and then we've never had any issues with it because it falls under the strategy and the coaching framework, which has no entry barrier, as it were. So yeah, but for your payment, please talk to the admin. I'm sure they can work out something for you, right away. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I mean, you've heard it all from PF. There's no other place to be. You need to get on board. I mean, for those of us even practicing from Nigeria, we have clients from all over the world using this exact framework. So it's not just PF. Don't think it's PF that, is taking it all over. No. I mean, for all of us that are, graduated, and are certified from the institute, we have clients from all over the world using this exact framework. So you have nothing to worry about. Just get on board. You can't be the same. Just get on board. Just get on board. So tomorrow is another time. I don't want you to come alone. And just share with your friend. Even if it's one thing that you have learned today on the call today, share one thing that you have learned, aside tagging us on social media and all of that. Have a conversation with your friends about, even limiting beliefs. I mean, if you haven't learned anything, you've heard tonight how that those of us that are judging us, we have to change name and be less judgmental, or don't judge at all, right? Because the people who you are judging are supposed to be your potential clients. So we have to just, do away with our biases, right? And do the work. So see you tomorrow. Just click on those links there to join us. I want to see you in class. It's a place to be. Your life it can't remain the same, beyond words. Nobody can explain this to you. You have to experience it for yourself. All right. So let's just say good night and just give a clap to PF. It's been a blessing to us tonight. It's been an amazing blessing to us. See you tomorrow. Bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your enemies. Yes, bring everybody. See you. Have a beautiful, beautiful night rest.
This tool since 2020 when I did the class, and I've been able to help quite a number of people. I also believe that based on and because of the transformation that people see in me, a number of people, my friends, have also taken the class and have become a reference point to a number of people, to the point that my clients are my marketing officers because they talk about how I have used the tools on them and the level of transformation and awareness they have also attained. This certification course will give you a rounder knowledge into how the mind operates. So I also use this same tool to help my clients who are divorced, and it's just to help them prepare for another relationship for those that are ready to do that. Family Systems Engineering course is a powerful one, and I can say that it is the best so far in handling marital counseling. And I can say that Family Systems Engineering certification course is the best so far in Africa. The tools are designed based on our African descent experiences. And that is why it is different and it's effective. I am Ebulomo Fowowe, and this is my first story.
My name is Modupe Irim. I'm a married educator and counselor. I've been doing this now for 9 years. Prior to 2016, when I took the FSC course, I was a bookseller. I had actually operated a retail bookstore for 15 years and then I wound it down. I then volunteered in church to be a marriage counselor, and that was what introduced me to premarital counseling. When I worked with the young couples in church, we actually did 14 hours each with them, each couple, and I learned a lot of things. And I started to think to myself that, wow, 6 weeks before the wedding is not sufficient to help people to learn the things that they needed to learn. So because of that, I started looking for ways to help other people. I then was invited to the Family Life Industry Dinner in May 2016. And there, they spoke about the Family Systems Engineering certification course. And I was really, I was enthused because at that stage, I just was looking for anything that would help me to get started. And so in July 2016, I went for that program. And since that time, I have then become a marriage educator and a counselor. FSC has taught me many things, first of all, but let me mention the 3 significant ones. So the first thing that I learned from the FSC certification program is the use of what we now know as the Oyela assessment. Essentially, what is the Oyela assessment? It is an assessment that we have created to address the issues that are peculiar to us as Africans, but which over the years has now found acceptance even with people who are not Africans. Prior to doing the FSC certification program, I would usually spend hours talking with individuals or couples who I wanted to work with in order to know, what was really going on in their life. When somebody comes to you, they tell you what I call a presenting problem. So they might say, my husband is not giving me attention, or my wife is not reliable, all of those kind of things. And ordinarily, the way most people will go at it, myself included, is to begin to say, oh, your wife ought not to behave like that, and then to begin to prescribe solutions. FSC showed me that the presenting problem is a symptom. And the assessments are like, what doctors use when they send you to the laboratory to do a test. So I changed from being somebody who just addressed the presenting problems to somebody who now uses assessments, questionnaires, even before I start talking to a client, so that I can have the context to their situation and also a lot of history. So gathering history used to be something that you'd be asking a lot of questions, but now using one assessment, you can actually get to know a lot about the client even without it. So that's the very first thing. If I didn't come across a structure like FSEC, which gave me a framework to have communication with people. Let me say that again, which gave me a framework to have communication with people. Because when people see me write on Facebook or in Instagram and in all the places I show up, they just think that I'm speaking from my mind. But the truth really is the family systems engineering framework that helps us to know that, people are who they are because of where they're coming from. That's the first thing. Then, which says that when you know where people are coming from, then you can look at the issue they are brought to you from the lens of how do you address the root problem. If I did not have those structures, I'm sure that I would have been overwhelmed by people's needs, people's sufferings, people's unhappiness, and I might have long gone away from this work, because you can't carry people's challenges on your shoulders if you don't have proper structure for addressing it. So for me, that's what the family systems engineering approach has done for me. Most people usually think that it is only to do with marriage. Anyone who is concerned about how our country, Nigeria, is, how the continent is, and perhaps how the entire world is, one thing that I think they all need to realize is that if you do not understand how a problem came to be, you cannot really address the problem fully. The family systems engineering approach offers a framework with which to understand what is going on in the lives of the people. I give you a practical illustration. I look at business owners. They complain about the employees that they recruit. That's because they're looking at the employees as they are. What if a business owner went through the family systems engineering program and learned, that every employee I recruit is coming from a family. Every employee I recruit is coming from an environment which has shaped them to be who they are. What do I need to have in place in my organization such that when I recruit this employee, or any employee for that matter, just by reason of taking them through something like the Oyela assessment, I have a sense of who they are and where they're coming from. And so in assigning them to managers, I can actually do programs and trainings that help this employee to overcome some of the things, trauma that they have had that have shaped them into who they are. And then do that repeatedly. Once that kind of thing is institutionalized in that businessman's enterprise, he has set himself up for success. What most entrepreneurs do right now is just look at the qualification of the person, and that is great. But somebody who has, by their personal experience, become a person who resists authority, how would they work with a manager? Or if they are a manager, what kind of a manager would they be? So for me, anyone who has any intention of influencing people, of mentoring people, of changing people's perspectives, of building stronger individuals that can work with other people, collaborate, be a part of a successful team, should consider going for the Family Systems Engineering Certification Program.
Before I came to FSA, I'd already gone to a counseling school, and with my personal experiences. Hi, my name